RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. Growing legacies. Co-presented by Century Ply. आग से बचाए. Co-presented by Macho Hint. Fashion बड़े आराम से.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newstrack. I'm Rahul. Kanwal. Does India need a policy for population control? That's my big focus on the Newstrack tonight.
Population politics explodes. RSS chief red flags religion-based imbalance. OAC hits back at fear-mongering. Does India need population control? The big focus on Newstrack.
Here's a look at the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Sonia Gandhi joins the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra in Mandya in Karnataka, walks with her son Rahul for 1 kilometer. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to join tomorrow. Congress leader Udit Raj's sycophantic remark on President Murmu triggers a row. Women's panel slaps a notice. Udit Raj clarifies, says it was his personal view, not that of his party. Trouble mounts for Adi Purush. Now, Ayodhya Ram Mandir's head demands a ban on the film. Filmmaker Om Raut speaks out, says he's not distorted anything.
ये फिल्म में हमने कुछ गलत किया नहीं है. हमने इतिहास को पूर्णता से उसकी पवित्रता रखते हुए ही काम किया है.
Big war over mighty Chola king Raja Cholan after the release of Ponniyin Selvam. Actor and Neta Kamal Hassan says the emperor was not Hindu. Comment sparks a political war. IMF chief warns of worldwide recession risks rising. Says the outlook for the global economy is darkening given the shocks caused by COVID-19, the Russia-Ukraine war and climate disasters. A day after, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat said that religion-based population balance can no longer be ignored, a massive political debate has exploded, while the AIMIM chief Asuddin Owaisi termed Bhagwat's comments as fear-mongering. Former poll panel chief S.Y. Qureshi called the RSS chief's comments balanced. Does India need a policy for population control? We'll discuss that on the Newstrack. Here is our lead story tonight.
Population politics explodes. RSS chief red flags religion-based imbalance. OAC hits back at fear-mongering. Does India need population control? The big focus on Newstrack.
To overtake China as the world's most populous country next year, India counted 1.21 billion people in 2011. A decade later, it's estimated to be 1.38 billion. And a UN report has projected 1.4 billion residents for 2023. Population control measures take the center stage as the RSS chief proposed policy to control growth.
हम भुगते जनसंख्या का असंतुलन हुआ तो 50 साल पहले उसके गंभीर परिणामों को हमने भुगता.
The Sangh leader also spoke about what he called religious-based imbalance in India's population, with forced conversions and infiltration playing a role.
जनसंख्या में पंथ संप्रदाय के प्रमाण में अंतर आने से नए देश बन गए, देश टूट गए. यह असंतुलन जन्मदर एक भाग है उसका, लेकिन जोर जबरदस्ती या छल कपट से, लालच से मतांतरण, ये सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर है। उस संतुलन का भी ध्यान रखना देश हित की दृष्टि से अनिवार्य बात है।
Up north in Meerut, a BJP leader and former MLA Sangeet Som took a harder line when he called for arming the Hindus against what he alleged could be a potential threat from the rising population of another community, an apparent reference to the Muslims in India.
अरे आपने चिंता घटती हुई जनसंख्या की तो करनी साथ, लेकिन जितनी बढ़ रही है चिंता उसकी करने की जरूरत है, बढ़ किसकी रही है।
The Sangh Parivar's position on India's population trajectory drew a sharp reaction from its opponents. AIMIM leader Asaduddin Owaisi described the RSS chief's reference to population imbalance as an act of fear-mongering not based on facts. He insisted that Indian Muslims have recorded a steep decline in their fertility rate. The left termed the RSS chief's idea lopsided. CPM leader Brinda Karat instead called upon decision makers to focus their attention on development.
गर्भ निरोधक का सबसे बढ़िया तरीका है गरीबों की विकास। आप डेवलपमेंट का गारंटी नहीं देंगे और आप जबरदस्ती इस प्रकार की रोक लगाएंगे तो ये कभी हो नहीं सकता।
On its part, the Congress urged a full-fledged debate on population involving communities across the board.
आरएसएस के प्रमुख ने कह दिया इसलिए ये मसला बहुत गंभीर हो गया, ऐसा नहीं है। इसमें तमाम रिलीजियस लीडर्स के साथ बात होनी चाहिए, तमाम राजनीतिक दलों के साथ बात होनी चाहिए, एक व्यापक जिसको कहते हैं कि इस पर बहस होनी चाहिए, कैसे हम पॉपुलेशन को कंट्रोल करेंगे।
Research based on decennial census and the National Family Health Survey, however, shows all religious communities in India have recorded a major drop in fertility rates. Studies show Muslims still have a slightly higher fertility rate than the Hindus in India. But the minority community has experienced the most significant decline from an average of 4.4 children per woman in 1992 to an average of 2.6 in 2015. A peculiar case, a country set to surpass China on population index, but with fewer children than before across the spectrum of communities. Bureau Report, India Today.
So should India have a policy for population control? And if so, what should that policy be? Remember, even amongst the Muslim community, the fertility rate has been coming down. India is now at a stage where its population is just around the replacement rate, so it isn't burgeoning like it did in the post-independence era. But given just the sheer number of people in India, given that India will soon be the world's most populated country, is there then a need for a policy on population control? Should we, for example, restrict the number of children to 2? The fact also is that most people are now having less than 2 children. So, to look at the different dimensions of this population debate, I'm joined on this broadcast by Poonam Muthreja, Executive Director of the Population Foundation of India, tracks this very intensively throughout her working career. We've got Manu Gaur, Population Control Policy Expert. We've got Waris Pathan, spokesperson of the AIMIM, and we've got S.Y. Qureshi joining us, former Chief Election Commissioner and author of The Population Myth. So I want to go across to Poonam Muthreja first. The RSS chief's comments on Vijay Dashmi lighting a new political fire around the issue of a policy on population control. While it is factually true that India's population is not running away in the way that it did earlier, we still are building up to have the world's largest population. And therefore, this is one of our biggest problems and biggest challenges. Should there, in your view, be a definite policy mandated by the central government applicable for all citizens on population control?
You know, Rahul, we already have a population policy in India. And I must say and compliment the government that it's an excellent policy. It was made in 2000 to, and it is still applicable. And in the meantime, over the last 15 years, and especially the last 6-7 years, we have seen a huge improvement in the way we run our population programs, which has brought down fertility dramatically. And the programs have focused on high focus districts, 140 high focus districts, a 5-year program has shown huge results. So the government knows what to do. By government, I'm referring to the bureaucracy, and NGOs like us don't always praise the bureaucracy, but on population stabilization, full marks to Indian bureaucracy at the national level, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, as well as at the state level. So when we have a good population policy, what we need is improvements. We need to keep making.
Manu Gaur, Poonam Muthreja making the argument you don't need a new policy, you need to improve the policy. The RSS chief seems to have been asking for something more, a definite cap that you can't have, for example, more than 2 children. If you do, you run afoul, and then there are very serious civil and criminal consequences of that. China has had that policy. It worked for them. Now they're looking at the ramifications of a one-child policy. Do you think India too needs a cap on the number of children you can have? And if there is to be a policy, what should it be?
Rahul, I want to refer one data. In 2000, the population of India reached to 1 billion. And after 22 years passed, the present population of India is about 1.42 billion. It means the average annual increase of about 20 million per annum. Yet, as per present birth rate and death rate, nearly 25 million kids take birth every year, and 10 million deaths take place every year. It means the annual growth of population would be nearly 15 million. This shows the data on which we are depending is not correct. We have the latest data of our population is the census of 2011. According to the 2011 census, there were nearly 34 crores married women in India. At that time, among them, nearly 18 crores have 2 or less than 2 kids, and nearly 15.75 crores married women have 3 or more than 3 kids. Those all 15.75 crores married women who have 3 or more than 3 kids were not from any particular community, caste, religion. So the data on which we are depending, that we have dropped down this TFR of our country is not correct, because the data on which we are depending is we are depending on data of 2.1 as per the NHFS 5 survey. That is just a sample survey of nearly 7 lakhs households. The actual figure of our population is the latest data we have is the census report of 2011. अब हमें नए रिपोर्ट के बारे में तब पता लगेगा जब 2021 का सेंसस जो होना था, जो अभी नहीं हुआ, जब उसकी रिपोर्ट आएगी.
Okay, S.Y. Qureshi, you've written a book on the population myth. You are part of the group of Muslim intellectuals who met RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwatji recently. Bhagwatji calling for a cap on population and a policy for population control. Do you think there should be a limit on the number of children, women, like families can have?
No, not at all. In fact, I would like to say I saw that speech. I didn't hear him, but I saw the speech and I briefly heard Poonam Muthreja, if that was her voice. Actually, we don't need any new policy. Our population policy of 2000, which came in Mr. Vajpayee's time, is a brilliant policy. And Mr. Bhagwat's speech sounded very well informed, because he mentioned that we have already reached the replacement rate. He was using the right figures. If we have already reached the replacement rate, where is the panic? So all that has happened is that what was sought to be achieved by 2011 has happened a few years later, but it has happened already. Now, and things will only improve from here further, because the fact is that although 52% of Muslims still don't do family planning, they're doing it very fast, they're catching up faster. The gap between Hindus and Muslims, which was 1.1 TFR, 1.1 child, the gap between Hindus and Muslims has come down to 0.3. Why has the gap reduced? Because Muslims are adopting family planning faster. So one concern should be out of the way. Now, there is a huge unmet need of the Muslim. The largest unmet need is the Muslim. About 12% Muslim are anxious to do family planning, but services are not reaching them. Why? They don't want to go to mini Pakistan. The doctors don't want to go. Give them those services, and the Muslim figures will shoot up. So actually, Mr. Bhagwat used the figures which were very encouraging. He even referred to China. What China used to be a role model for some of these people. You know, have a one-child norm and just see what happened. Now, the same China abandoned one-child norm in 2016. They went to two-child norm, and they abandoned that in 2019. Now the three-child.
No, but they've managed to bring their population under control. If they hadn't done, of course, having a one-child norm, Mr. Qureshi has had some fallout, but they've been able to arrest their population growth and make their population much more manageable than India's at this moment.
No. At the same time, at what cost? At what cost? Because now they have 70% old people who are unproductive. That is when they change the policy, whereas we have achieved the same thing in a very persuasive manner. Already we have reached the replacement level. From now on, after 15-20 years, the population will only start going down. So that is something which we need to understand.
Varis Pathan, someone like S.Y. Qureshi calls Bhagwat ji's comments balanced. The AIMM seems particularly upset. He didn't mention any particular religion or community. Why then is Mr. Owaisi and the AIMM so upset?
Well, in August 2016, Mohan Bhagwat made a statement which law says that the population of Hindus should not rise. What is stopping them when the population of others is rising? 2016. Then Mohan Bhagwat says the DNA of Hindus and the Muslims are the same. Then he comes before the nation and he says that because of the population increase, there is a demographic imbalance which is taking place in the country. So we all know whom he is targeting to, whom he is referring to. Whereas let me tell you, the fertility rate, with the data which we have, Rahul, is very clear that the fertility rate of the Muslims has considerably gone down. I will show you the data which is not prepared by Varis Pathan at his home. This is the, according to report last year by PEW Research Center. Fertility rate among Muslims, the largest minority, is the highest among all major communities, but has been declining fast. It's now almost equal to that of Hindus, according to the report. Now, from 1992 to 2015, Muslim fertility rate declined from 4.4 to 2.6. For Hindus, it went down from 3.3 to 2.1. So why does he want that population control? Not only that, give me some few minutes, second round. In 2019, the Rajya Sabha member of parliament moved a private member's bill in the parliament seeking that there should be a population control law, population control bill. During that period, the minister, Mansukh Mandavia, stood up in the Rajya Sabha and he made a statement: there is no need for population control bill to be introduced as the population in the country is stable and we have got certain schemes which prevents the overwhelming population control. That, not only that, the Supreme Court, there was matter was pending where the Ministry of Health filed an affidavit before the Honorable Court saying that we don't require a population control law, population control bill. So this is clear before the nation. But they want to divide the country. Hatred is going on everywhere in the country. Mohan Bhagwat was trying to say that the population is increasing. If you are so much concerned, then you must speak about demographic dividend. If you take control of that, you provide employment to the youths, you will see that the difference is there. We will go beyond.
here's
China
the point that's being discussed. Outside of the politics, Waris Pathan, if some family is having 4 children, 5 children, 6 children, 7 children, it's not happening en masse, but in some cases it is. The question that even sensible people are asking is, should there be a cap to that? I think that's the question that's being asked. And what's wrong in having a cap? Let there be a reasonable cap. If somebody doesn't want that it be capped at 2, it could potentially even be capped at 3. But if somebody is having children, which then becomes difficult for our nation to deal with, which doesn't then remain a demographic dividend but could become a demographic disaster, you try and put a cap on that without being unreasonable. Mr.
But
Patel?
for that, the government needs to have the policy. They must see today the youth is not getting married. Rahul, the fact is that today's youth does not have money to provide for himself. When will he provide wife, children and everybody? So you should have a policy. You should increase the employment, you give employment to the people, provide proper schemes. Then only we can have control over this. But there is no need for a population control in the country, wherein the data is set. Why do they want? If Modi has got 5 siblings, Yogi has got 7 of them. Earlier the CM of Bihar was having, Lalu Prasad was having so many children. He's having so many children.
No, but I'm not saying this about any one religion. I'm asking a general question. If there is a policy on population control, that policy, Poonam Muthreja, is not for any one community. Why can't there be, whether it is 2 or 3, a cap on the number of children a family can have, which doesn't deter, unlike China, which had only 1 and therefore created the number of problems that it did ultimately. Here it isn't restricting people who want to have, say, 2 or 3 children, but if you want to have way too many more than that, then it puts a firm cap on such plans. What's wrong with that?
So the reason is we don't need that. And the data shows that in India, people do not want to have more than 2 children. This is national data, NFHS data, SRS data, and the data. And then we have 10% unwanted fertility in India. Don't you think, Rahul, we should be focusing on giving family planning services to those who don't wish to have more children? That's one. And people don't wish to have 4, 5 children anymore. They can't afford it. Second, I want to say that India has a young population, Rahul, of 350 million people. And 40% of them are at a reproductive age. So our population is, whatever we do, even if you have a 2-child norm, and a 2-child policy, even if these people have 1 or 2 children, and they're educated people don't have more than 2 children in any case, and education levels and literacy levels are increasing in India. So if you look at all that, we need to invest in family planning. We need to spend more money on spacing methods, which we only spend 4% of our meager family planning budget on spacing when we have such a large young population. So the point is that there is so much we can do to bring down, not only stabilize our population, but drastically bring down from the projections that have been made if we invest more in family planning.
So let's build on that. Manu Gaur, the argument Poonam Muthreja makes is we have to identify the right solution. Family planning, education, awareness, empowerment. That's the way to go. By putting an artificial cap, it's not as if there are too many people wanting to have more than 2 children. By putting an artificial cap, that might seem like a politically expedient thing to do, but it may not produce the end result that you need.
Rahul, only because of that kind of arguments, I want to explain, India was the first country in the world who launched first official family planning program. Yet, it is now, everyone knows that it is the nearly going to achieve the tag of most populous country of the world. Okay, and according to Poonam ji, who very well said that why we can not provide the basic contraceptives and other things to control the birth rate to the every household. I want to give you a data that from 1974, the government of India has spent nearly 3 lakh crore rupees of taxpayers' money on the family planning programs. The real-time value of that amount is nearly 30 lakh crore rupees. बिल्कुल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के एक साल के रेवेन्यू के बराबर. तो when we can provide electricity, water, gas chula to every household, then why we cannot provide the contraceptive facilities to every household?
No, sure we can. But S.Y. Qureshi, let's build on this argument. While having a, say, two-child norm mandated by law doesn't disincentivize anybody from having children, you can still have children. It disincentivizes those who are putting undue pressure on the country's resources by producing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 children. The number of people producing so many children is coming down, but why allow it at all? S.Y. Qureshi.
Yes. Let's start with the positive. We have been aspiring for, we have replaced already. And Harshan is adopted planning. Therefore, all we need to do about do a little more of we education, also adopt family planning. Only half population adopting family planning. When the other half say just so do a little.
Now I don't hear you well, so I'm going to come back to you in just a moment. Meanwhile, Varis Pathan, instead of attacking the comment just because it was made by the RSS chief and you don't like his ideology, why not just allow for a meaningful conversation around what Bhagwatji is saying instead of attacking him or looking for communal motives, even though in his comments he's not said anything about any religion. Look at the principle of what he's saying, and if the number of families producing more children is coming down, why not cap it? That surely cannot be something to be contested.
We are not attacking, we are saying he is playing dog whistle politics and is fear mongering in the name of population, which is not required. I agree with what Madam Poonam just now said, that it is not required. There are certain schemes which implement properly, then there's no question of population explosion, Rahul. Today the people are very well aware about the consequences of more children. That is why there are more and more people using contraceptives and trying to see that no babies are more born, because they cannot feed them. In fact, if a demographic dividend is to be considered, then they must look into that direction by providing proper jobs. Modi said we will provide 2 crore jobs. It won't happen. Where is it going? Where are the jobs? If an unemployed youth wants to get married, will he get married? If he cannot feed himself, how will he feed his wife and children? What about that? The Modi government, that is why they are diverting the mind of the nation from the main issues and taking them into the population. Why did they not say that, okay, in the Rajya Sabha, when the private members bill was introduced, okay, we'll formulate a policy? Because it cannot. You cannot do this. You have to. China, you said just now, one child policy came and it was a disaster. It was not successful policy at that time. But when the fertility rate has already come down, it's lowered in our country, then why is there need for getting this kind of population control bill? Mohan Bhagwat should have spoken about providing employment issue. He spoke about Nari Samman. Where he forgot to speak about the Bilkis Banu's case, where these rapists are moving free outside the jail, whose place is in jail behind bars. They should have remained behind bars. Other than that, they are moving in free air. When he speaks about Nari Samman, he should have spoken.
So there is nobody from the RSS to defend what the RSS chief said. So I don't want to make this political. We wanted to have a larger conversation on whether there should be a cap on the number of children families can have. You heard different points of view. I don't want to take a side. I leave it to you, our viewers, to decide where you stand on this. When we come back, Sonia Gandhi walks with her son Rahul in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Images of son tying his mother's shoelace go viral. Details coming up on the other side.
I noticed something new. You've started using a new body lotion. Funny.
So sorry for the delay. I was on another call. It just kept going on.
No, Papa. You have been a steam bath.
Steam bath? At home?
Two steam bath he takes.
Go to your homework.
It's 7:20 already. The kickoff's in 5 minutes. Get all the boys. We have the entire place to ourselves, man. Not working?
Of course it is. But I don't want you guys to be using this bathroom. So use the other one.
Kerala's public health. All political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the bigger stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Priti, you refused Karan Johar's lust stories because the role centered around the female orgasm and your mother vetoed it.
So my mother was just it is a short film. It's a 20-minute thing about only a female orgasm. I mean, fine, if you're doing a 20-minute thing in a full-fledged film, it still makes sense. But maybe I don't think you should do it at this point. So that was the whole discussion.
So you've been very open, and to your great credit.
I've been very open till now. I'm very open for everything. Like I have allowed them
कोई love scene
to go to parties.
कृति की कोई love scene हो या
no problem.
You have no problem
I
with that.
don't have any problem.
You've only drawn the line at the orgasm. उसके पहले
Co-presented by only OLX Autos gives the best price for your car. Co-presented by Macho Hint, fashion bade aaram se.
I don't read the news. I read between the lines to tell you the true version of events. The true story of our times.
To document grief, the toughest assignment for any journalist to be.
From those who matter.
Women politicians going to stick up for each other.
Of those who should matter. I document the truth. I don't distort the truth. I don't glamorize the truth. I don't gloss over the truth.
The ghosts of India's contentious medieval history have come knocking again.
I hustle for the truth. On the ground, in the newsroom, in the studio. I don't try to grab eyeballs.
I inform you to make you see the point.
To the point with Preeti Chaudhary. At these times, only on India Today.
Co-powered by RK Marble, Khoobsurat Imandari. In association with JioMart, Har Ghar Ka Mart.
You're on board the Newstrack. Congress's interim president Sonia Gandhi claimed that the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Karnataka today is playing a role in galvanizing opposition forces. She walked just a part of the Yatra today, just about a kilometer, but there were some endearing mother-son moments that seem to be going viral. The question is, does this social media virality prove to be anything more than a blip in Congress's political fortunes?
A dutiful son tying his mother's shoelaces. This was the defining image from Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra on Thursday. The Congress party tweeted the picture with one-word tweet, Ma. The Congress MP's Yatra to unite India is marching through BJP-ruled Karnataka, and the party is leaving no stone unturned to woo the voters of the state that goes to polls in 6 months. Congress President Sonia Gandhi joined her son in his yatra for the first time. She walked for a kilometer, keeping her health in mind. But the brief walk was milked by the Congress and made many pictures go viral, especially this one. After tying her shoelaces, Rahul Gandhi suggested Sonia Gandhi take the car. But the mother insisted she wanted to walk a little more. The Gandhis were also seen comforting a girl who fell down.
So you can see in the visuals, AICC interim president Sonia Gandhi is participating Bharat Jodo Yatra along with Rahul Gandhi. The march, which has started from Bellale this morning, will be heading towards Jakkanhalli and from there to Nagamangala. And this is a moral support from AICC President Sonia Gandhi to his son and senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi.
Sonia Gandhi left for Delhi soon after participating in the yatra. Rahul Gandhi will now be joined by his sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra on Friday. Meanwhile, Rahul Gandhi continued his attack on the Basavaraj Bommai government.
ये हर चीज में 40% कमीशन लेती है। हिंदुस्तान की शायद सबसे भ्रष्ट सरकार है। कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स ने प्रधानमंत्री को चिट्ठी लिखी, कहा कि कर्नाटक में 40% कमीशन का राज चल रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री ने कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की।
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai hit back at Rahul Gandhi and trashed the yatra.
No, naturally, all party leaders work for their own party, and she has walked for a half kilometer and gone. It's okay. I mean, as far as we are concerned, it doesn't make any impact.
The exchange was fierce between Rahul Gandhi and Basavaraj Bommai, and it sparked off a political face-off.
You are witnessing how people are responding. It is a tremendous response from the people, unexpected response from the people. See, by seeing the success of the Padayatra, they become desperate. BJP people desperate.
पूरा यूपी घूम के आया, क्या रिजल्ट क्या मिला? मिला क्या है? आपको भी पता है। खुद दिल्ली में कांग्रेस का नाम पर कंटेस्ट करने के लिए प्रत्यक्ष प्रत्याशी भी नहीं मिलता है, वो हालत है।
From Congress's big guns to the Aam Aadmi, including the specially abled, the Bharat Jodo Yatra has been a hit. But will it be a vote winner for the Congress as it hopes it to be? With Sagai Raj in Mandya, Bureau Report, India Today.
Trouble seems to be mounting for Prabhas Tara Adipurush. Now the head priest of the Ayodhya Ram Mandir has called for a ban on the film. An animation studio has claimed that the film's poster has been plagiarized.
The protests are increasing and the chorus for a ban growing. Adipurush, starring Saif Ali Khan, Prabhas and Kriti Sanon, is facing backlash over how Lord Ram and Ravan are portrayed in the mythological drama. All this triggered over a teaser of the film that has been made public. Even Ayodhya says are now strangely offended and called for a ban.
जिस प्रकार से दिखाया जा रहा है वो बिल्कुल अमर्यादित है और ये किसी रूप में यह आदर्श का बात नहीं रह गया। नाम रामायण का और उसका विकृत रूप दिखाया जा रहा है जो बहुत ही गलत है और मैं कहता हूं कि इस पर तुरंत बैन लगाया जाए।
First it was Hindu fringe groups, now even the Saffron Brigade is livid.
जो संदेश देना चाहते हैं रामायण, रामचरितमानस और धर्म ग्रंथों की मखौल बनाने का, ऐसा संदेश जीते जी विश्व हिंदू परिषद के कार्यकर्ता, बजरंग दल के कार्यकर्ता नहीं देने देंगे, नहीं देने देंगे, नहीं देने देंगे।
This is typically, you can say, we call it Shadyantra. Intentionally, these people have been doing it just to gain a cheap publicity, and out of that cheap publicity, they want to make crore rupees. All the time, it has been happening with Hindu god and goddess just because of Hindus are calm. We don't react. We don't take law in our hand.
In Varanasi, a group called the Rashtriya Hindu Dal took to the streets demanding legal action against the director and producer. Adi Purush director Om Raut is upset over the calls for the film to be banned. Raut says people must wait till January when the film is released on screens before demanding such drastic measures. Bureau Report, India Today.
Adipurush filmmaker Om Raut has broken his silence on the flack his movie is drawing. Here's what he says.
सबसे पहले मैं ओम से पूछता हूँ, ओम आपने तो तानाजी जैसी फिल्में बनाई जो दर्शकों ने बड़ी पसंद की थी. हाउ डिड यू गो रॉन्ग विद दिस? और जो ये लगातार आरोप लग रहा है कि आपने रावण के लुक के साथ छेड़छाड़ की है, राम हनुमान सबके साथ, स्थिति ये आ गई कि अभी जो हमारा जो पौराणिक रावण का जो चरित्र है वो अब हमें अच्छा लगने लगा आपके रावण के सामने.
ये फिल्म में हमने कुछ गलत किया नहीं है. कुछ गलत नज़रिए से कुछ चीज़ें गलत दिख रही हैं लोगों को, उसके ऊपर मैं थोड़ा विश्लेषण देना चाहूँगा. सबसे पहले बात तो ये है कि ये फिल्म निर्माण करने का हमारा जो सबसे बड़ा गोल है, सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ हमारे लिए है कि हम प्रभु राम की गाथा जो है, जो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम प्रभु राम जो है, उनकी गाथा हम विश्व में सब जगह दिखाना चाहते हैं. हम उनकी सीख जो है, जो हमारे सनातनी विचार हैं, उनको हम युवाओं तक पहुंचाना चाहते हैं. जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन है उनको अगर रामायण की सीख देनी होगी एक फिल्म में, तो ये नामुमकिन है.
आपने फिर रंग रूप क्यों बदल दिया पूरा?
मुझे पूरा करने दीजिए. अगर हम इसको इस तरह से पेश करें कि जो हम युवाओं तक पहुंच सके, नई पीढ़ी तक पहुंच सके, तब हम जाके हम ये नई जनरेशन के साथ बात कर सकते हैं. इसमें कोई भक्ति कम है क्या? तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं. इसमें कोई आर्तता कम है क्या? तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं. इसमें हमारी श्रद्धा बहुत ज़्यादा है. मैं आपको किस तरह से समझाऊं कि हमने इतिहास के साथ, और मैं इसे इतिहास ही कहूँगा, ये हमारा गर्वी इतिहास है, हमने इतिहास को पूर्णता से उसकी पवित्रता रखते हुए ही काम किया है. जो आप रावण की भी बात कर रहे हैं, तो रावण एक दानव है. एक रावण जो है कि वो एक कैसे कह सकते हैं, वो एक क्रूर ये है. तो उसे बहुत बड़ी मूंछें और ये सब करके उन्होंने दिखाया था. वो बहुत ही एक वो ज़माने के टाइम का वो एक राक्षसी एक रिप्रेजेंटेशन था, आर्टिस्टिक रिप्रेजेंटेशन था रामानंद सागर सर जी के टाइम पे दूरदर्शन पे जो आया था.
आपका रावण रामानंद सागर के रावण से अलग है.
हमारा रावण जो है, जो आज के ज़माने में जो डिमोनिक है, आज के ज़माने में जो एक राक्षसी, एक क्रूर जो रावण है, जो कि मैं आपको एक सवाल पूछना चाहूँगा. जिसने हमारी सीता मैया का हरण किया, वो रावण है. वो रावण क्रूर है. वो रावण एक बहुत ही ये राक्षस है. तो आज के ज़माने में अगर मेरे आर्टिस्टिक फीलिंग में राक्षस मुझे कैसे दिखता है, तो मुझे राक्षस ऐसे दिखता है. तो इसलिए अगर मैंने आप जो बोल रहे हैं उसका रंग बदला, वो रंग बदला नहीं है. वो रंग उसका वही है, क्योंकि उसका रंग एक पर्टिकुलर किरदार की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ये पूरे विषय का रंग बहुत ही धार्मिक है.
आपको ऐसा लगता है कि कोई भी फिल्म मेकर एक रेफरेंस पॉइंट लेता है, तो वो रेफरेंस पॉइंट जो हमारा है वो हमारे भारत में हम रामानंद सागर के रामायण को मानते हैं या फिर कैलेंडर में जो चित्र है उसको मानते हैं। तो आपको नहीं लगा कि आपने एक बहुत बड़ा एडवेंचरस एक्सपेरिमेंट कर लिया? इसके पीछे क्या मंशा थी कि जो उसमें एक खिलजी वाला लुक दिखाई दे रहा है?
नो, बिल्कुल भी एडवेंचरस नहीं है। अगर आप रावण की बात करें तो मैं फिर से वही कहना चाहूँगा, रावण मेरे लिए एक हम हर साल रावण दहन करते हैं ना। अगर मैं डिमोनिक की बात करूं, अगर मैं डीमन की बात करूं, अगर मैं कोई राक्षस की बात करूं, असुर की बात करूं, तो मुझे वो आज के ज़माने में मुझे असुर वो दिखता है।
जैसे आपने पुष्पक विमान को,
किसने कहा पुष्पक? सुधीर जी, किसने कहा पुष्पक? किसने कहा पुष्पक? विमान तो हमारा पवित्र है। किसने कहा पुष्पक? उसके लिए फिल्म 95 सेकेंड्स सर, 95 सेकेंड्स ऑफ द फिल्म हमने क्या दिखाया है? पुष्पक विमान वो तो मायावी है। रावण वो खुद मायावी है, वो दानव है, वो मायावी है। वो पुष्पक विमान है, किसने बोला?
अब बड़ा सवाल ये है कि क्या आप इस फिल्म में बदलाव करने के लिए तैयार हैं? क्योंकि जो जनता का जो बैकलैश आया है, जो जनता को जो चीज़ें पसंद नहीं आ रही हैं, क्या आप अब अपना जो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट आएगा फिल्म में, क्या उसमें आप उसके हिसाब से बदलाव करेंगे?
या हम सबको सबके आशीर्वाद की बहुत ज़रूरत है। तो जो लोग बोल रहे हैं, जो हम ले रहे हैं, वो हमारे सारे बड़े बुजुर्ग हैं। हम उनका सब कुछ सुन रहे हैं। मैं सब कुछ सुन रहा हूँ, सब कुछ नोट कर रहा हूँ। जो चीज़ें हमारी को करेक्ट है, जो चीज़ों का बदलाव करने की जो बातें कर रहे हैं, जो ऐसी चीज़ सबकी हम नोटिंग कर रहे हैं। एंड जब आप फिल्म देखोगे, जब जनवरी में ये फिल्म रिलीज़ होगी, बहुत टाइम है इसको आने को, जनवरी में जब ये फिल्म रिलीज़ होगी तो मैं किसी को निराश बिल्कुल नहीं करूँगा।
Renowned actor Kamal Haasan has claimed that Raja Cholan, one of the greatest Chola kings, wasn't Hindu, and this hinges on a technicality. Kamal's contention is that Hindu as a word was coined by the British. His remarks have triggered a massive political storm.
அரசகுலத்தில் ஒருவரை அந்த விண்மீன் பலிகொள்ளும் என்றனர் சோதிடர்கள். பகை நாட்டை சூழ்ந்தது, கடல் கொந்தளித்தது, வஞ்சம் அரண்மனை புகுந்தது.
Just days after the release of Mani Ratnam's epic Ponniyin Selvan I, a mega showdown has erupted over the mighty Chola dynasty king Raja Chola.
நான் சோழ நாட்டின் காவலன், சோழ மக்களின் வேலைக்காரன்.
The king is a central figure in the recently released Ponniyin Selvan I.
என் இளவரசரோட தோளோடு தோள் நின்று போரிடும் பாக்கியம் எனக்கு கிடைக்கும்.
The latest controversy started with noted Tamil filmmaker Vetrimaran claiming that the 9th century Chola monarch has been saffronized and he was not a Hindu king. The floodgates swung open when veteran actor Kamal Haasan waded in. Backing Vetrimaran's remarks, Kamal Haasan not only claimed that there was no Hindu religion during Raja Chola's period,
இந்து மதங்கிற பேர் ராஜராஜ சோழ காலத்தில் கிடையாது. 8ஆம் நூற்றாண்டில் ஆதிசங்கரங்கிறவர் ஷண்மத ஸ்தாபனம்னு பண்றாரு. இதெல்லாம் சரித்திரம். அந்த சரித்திரத்தை இங்கே சொல்லக்கூடாது. ஏன்னா இது சரித்திர புனைவை பற்றி புகழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறவங்க. இப்ப நம்ம சரித்திரத்தை புனைய வேண்டாம், திரிக்கவும் வேண்டாம்.
But went on to say that the term Hindu was coined by the British.
அப்படி வைணவம்னு இருந்தது, சைவம்னு இருந்தது, சமணம்னு இருந்ததே தவிர அது வெள்ளக்காரங்க நமக்கு வச்ச பேர். என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியாம தூத்துக்குடின்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி தான்.
The DMK, the ruling party in Tamil Nadu, echoed similar sentiments.
There are two different religions at that time. Vaishnavism and Saivism were two different religions. Each hated the other religion. We can see what had happened in the case of Hiranyan and his son. That is one avatar of Vishnu. Narasimha Avataram. Why Narasimha Avataram? To kill Hiranyan, who is a Saivite.
So we can't call him a Hindu king.
Yes, he is a Saivite king and he built only Saiva temples.
The BJP, meanwhile, is gunning for Kamal Haasan and Vetrimaran for what it called de-Hinduizing the Tamil community.
பேரே வெற்றிமாறன்னு வச்சுருக்காரு.
ராஜராஜ சோழன் கட்டின 2 சர்ச் 2 மாஸ்க் எங்கெங்க இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டா போதும். என்னை சிவபாதசேகரன் என்று அழைத்து கொண்ட மாமன்னன் ராஜராஜ சோழன். அவர் ஹிந்து இல்லையா?
The fight over the Chola dynasty is getting heated day by day. The political controversies have only added to Ponniyin Selvan's appeal. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the Newstrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.
Hey, I noticed something new. You started using a new body lotion.
Funny.